Hey, welcome to another episode of geekoutdoors.com. So Apple is usually not ever associated with being open. They're normally associated with being very closed and proprietary, even more so than Microsoft Windows. But this little bit of news probably starting to show a different approach that Apple is taking, and that is a rumor that this year's 2018 iPhone X or iPhone 10 will be using USB Type-C instead of Lightning. And so this is something that is definitely not at all exciting for people who are on Android and many other devices, because USB Type-C has been around forever when it comes to the Android world. But of course, Apple is going to do it in a revolutionary way. All joking aside, I could see why they would go to USB Type-C. And so with the Apple iPhones, this is a big thing, of course, because the Apple iPhone is still the largest moneymaker for Apple. And even after we removed the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, people were angry, but they've accepted it. And so with the whole Apple maybe possibly adopting USB Type-C, this is a different move that they're making. Instead of taking something away, they're going to be offer something that works with other types of products and other ecosystems, which I think is a great thing. And they haven't just started it only with the phones, possibly. It's because they've already done it with the MacBook Pro series or the MacBooks with the USB Type-C there. Okay, and so they already have it in other products. And so it wouldn't be surprising or maybe too difficult for them to make this a standard across all their various products, including their iPads as well. Now you might be thinking, wow, why are they actually going possibly to this more open route? Well, it isn't something that Apple is a stranger to, because they already use open source tools for their software. So you can see here, this is their open source page for developers, that you could see that they actually do use open source tools as well for their products. And in terms of business wise, why I think they would do it, well, I think it's the right time, because the Apple iPhone is no longer the only game in town whenever it comes to smartphones, because now smartphones are a commodity and Android phones are everywhere. And the biggest thing with Android phones is they actually have really high quality products, specifically with the Samsung Galaxy lines, that could go toe to toe with the iPhone, not only just from a features and tech specs, because honestly, most mass consumers don't really care about that. What they care about is the brand. And Samsung has really pushed the envelope when it comes to branding. And I think they're right up there with Apple's iPhone. So now that they aren't the only game in town and people have other thoughts of other high quality products, now it's time for Apple to actually, I guess, move on to their second phase of their strategy. Whereas before it was just be as closed and proprietary as possible because we can. Okay, and so if you even saw with the iPhone 10's release, they actually even had fast charging as well. And they also had compatibility, which is a big thing here, with other Qi certified chargers, which would work on other devices, including Android devices. And now the fast charging is not something that they really advertise in a big way, because if you wanted the fast charge, you didn't get a fast charging power plug with it. Being Apple, you still have to buy a USB to Lightning cable in order to get the fast charge, and that was $19 for the 1 meter one. And so they're still Apple, but as you can tell, they are not making as much money through their accessories anymore, because obviously, as I just stated earlier, people have other options when it comes to a high quality smartphone. And now that Apple is seeing that this is coming to an end, then they need to take a different approach to actually keep their leadership position and also to continually make money. They probably might not make as much money if they do adopt the USB-C standard, but they're still going to make a lot of money. And this is something that I'm pretty sure Apple knew was coming. They knew that at some point smartphones would be a commodity, and they pretty much are at this point. And so people think more than just about the iPhone when they think of a smartphone. And so I think this is a smart move for Apple to start embracing a more open type approach to how they do their business. And they could have done this a long time ago, but it makes sense for them to do it now, especially as other competitors like Samsung, LG, Google themselves with their Pixel phones are starting to catch up. And now Apple needs to actually take a different, wider approach to not only keep the people who are already in their ecosystem, but also to attract new people into the Apple ecosystem. And this is something that is not just a new thing that Apple is doing, because other companies are doing something very similar, specifically Microsoft Windows. So if you've been paying attention to them, they've actually been more open, specifically with the Linux platform, and adding that to a lot of their services and software. And so now a lot of companies are embracing open source, or at least using it as a definite marketing tool in order to, attract more people into their brand. And I could easily see in the next few years, Apple is probably going to tout their openness as something that is revolutionary and magical. And, people love the Apple brand. The majority of people do. And so they're probably going to actually, go ahead and fall in line and still follow Apple now that they are more of an open company. And so if you had any thoughts on this new potentially open approach by Apple, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to subscribe. And if you wanted to support my channel further, you could do that at patreon.com/Geek Outdoors. Hey geeks, if you are a creative geek like me and you actually wanted to learn how to create content on YouTube and other places on the internet, then join my Go Content Creators group, where you would get access to 30 free videos and more continuing content for all their creative geeks out there. And the best part of it is, all of this is free. All you have to do is simply go to the link below, head over to our page, and join my Go Content Creators group. Thanks a lot, and I will see you on the other side. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.